Hunter.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown! Howdy folks, welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. I'm Hunter. This is Rebecca. I'm dressed Dice Towery. She's dressed Bailery? I don't know. Alright, today we're looking at my 20 to 11.
Ooh.
Crazy.
These are the good ones.
We're finally getting to good games.
What?
All these other games have been garbage. We're getting some good
yeah.
ones coming up this time.
Right.
Alright, let's look at the list. Let's take a look. We got one game that went up, which is really amazing for this high up in the list. 7 went down. That she predicted last time, not much. 2 new games in this set of 10. Wow, they're cracking into the top 20. Must be amazing games.
That's good stuff.
Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so my number 20, way back at the way back time of number 22. Number 22, I said that Core Worlds was my favorite deck builder. Spoiler if you're watching this one first, but you should watch them in order. This is deck building partially. It's got some deck building, but I wouldn't call it a deck builder. And that's my number 20. Great Western Trail!
Oh, I should have known this one would be this high up.
So it was 18 last time, went down just a little bit. Made room for those 2 new games. Great Western Trail is a kind of a deck builder, like I said. You start with a hand of crappy cows, and throughout the game you try to get better cows in your hand. But it's really about moving around the board and taking actions and upgrading your hand and building buildings and getting money and things and stuff and victory points. Moving a little train, you're collecting different, I wouldn't say they're workers. They're like, you have 3 different kinds of guys that do stuff for you, and you can upgrade those and make them more powerful, make those actions more powerful. You have a little player board. I'll just show you. You have a little player board somewhere. Where the player boards are here. And over here on the side, you have some actions you can take. And these are all covered up with little discs, and there's little discs all over this thing. And you take those discs off and you put them on the board, and not only does that give you some benefits on the board, it makes these actions out here more powerful. And these are the 3 little guys. You got like a engineer, a craftsman, and a cowboy. Cowboy makes your deck better. Craftsman makes your buildings easier to build. And the engineer moves your train better. So you're moving the train around. Love it. I enjoyed the expansion. She's Matt on the expansion. I love it. It's a great game. We even majorly upgraded our game.
Our components are top notch.
With our start player marker. Look at that.
It's a cow.
That's quality right there. That's a major upgrade.
May have stolen that from one of the children at some point.
So yeah, I've talked about this many times. I love me some Great Western Trail. It's a great little Euro game. Plays pretty quick.
It's not really a little Euro game either.
It's a little Euro game. 75 minutes for 2 players. This is what we usually run. Probably could be actually a little bit quicker than that. Well, if you throw the expansion in, maybe a little longer than that. I don't know.
Yeah, but you add players to this game and the time just seems to go
like
crazy.
Yeah,
So
does.
There's that. Keep that
One
in
of the
mind.
best board game covers in board game history, right there.
Oh, yeah?
Don't that inspire you?
To go on the Great Western Trail? I just find it intriguing that the cowboy has like a perfectly manicured beard. I just don't find that all that. I don't know. He must not be on the trail at the time. I'm just saying.
He didn't. This cowboy, he didn't have crappy cows. He's got some quality cows.
Yeah, does he? Yeah. Okay.
That's it. My number 20, Great Western Trail. 18 last time, so dropped 2 places.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Amazing game.
So we'll move on to my favorite.
Well, your 19th favorite.
No, my favorite Uwe Rosenberg game, and that is Lahav.
Still going strong as your favorite.
Yep, so it was 16 last time, dropped 3 places, so same general area. We got new games up top, we gotta make room. Lahav.
But this is your favorite.
This is my favorite, and it's the next one down the list, way down at number, what is it, 28?
Good heavens.
Glass Road, way back, man. That's like 9 places below this one. So Lahav is a resource management game. So you're basically building buildings, using buildings to get resources. You use those resources to get better resources. You eventually ship the resources off for victory points. Feeding your people. You can build ships to feed your people better. You can use other people's buildings. It's just a really solid game. I love it. It's fun. It's tight. It's interesting. It's you have the angst of wanting to use certain spots. Players take it away from you.
Oh my goodness, they're so tight.
You want to build certain buildings, and people build them instead, but you can use their buildings if you want. Has lots of choices. This is one of those games where when you take your action to get like resources or stuff, you have a little boat that's moving along. There's not a bad choice. You can get like 10 fish, or get 3 iron, or get 4 of this other thing. It's just there's never like, oh man, I get like a stick or something. There's always good choices.
You'll get a bundle of sticks, right?
What's funny is we've never played with the special buildings for whatever reason until the last time we played, and that made it. I think it would have maybe dropped a couple of spaces more, but we played last time with the special buildings. That was really cool. Yeah. Enjoyed that quite a bit. It has a long and short version of the game, so you can, if you want a quicker game, you can play the short version. It says it's 100 minutes. That's probably a 2-player short version, and then 2-player long version is maybe a little bit longer, maybe 2 hours. So it's one of the longer Uwe games. He's got a handful of 2+ hour games, and this is one of them. I don't know, it's just an amazing game. If you haven't played Lahav and you like Uwe games, you owe yourself to play this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a lot of people's favorite, isn't it?
It's...
well, for the heavier stuff?
Some, because you got the Agricola people, and you got the Caverna people,
that's true.
and
He's
you got the Feast for Odin people. And
that's true. He's got a lot
so
of
I would say this is some people's favorite. I would
They're
say
part of the Lahaver people?
The ones that like boats. I don't know.
I mean, it's like you.
I have theme. All my games have boats.
You are all about the boats.
Anyway, I like this game. It's fun. It's I just really enjoy it. It's great. It has a nice build up. First, you're not doing much, then in the game, you're like got just resources just everywhere.
He's really good at making games that do that, though.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, that's my number 19. 16 last time. Yeah, went down 3 spaces. Lahav. All right, let's move on to my one that usually is ranked 14. So in 2016 is 14. 2017 is 14. 2018 is 14. 2019 it was 12. Now it's 18.
Whoa, what is going on?
So it dropped 6 spaces, which is same general area.
Insane.
And that is Orleans. Orleans. I love this game. This game's so good. We tried this out several years ago. So it's been on my list since 2016. We tried this at Dice Tower Con, I believe it was.
It was.
We played it, and I immediately went over and bought it. I bought it right then and
in fact,
there.
Did we even finish the game before we had?
I think I did. I think actually on your turn, I went over and grabbed it.
Yeah, because they were going to close soon or stuff, and he's like, "We must have this." It was great.
Yeah, I loved it. We got the trade and intrigue expansion. We like the trade, not so much the intrigue. And we haven't got the one where you do cooperative. I didn't buy that for some reason.
Doesn't play co-op.
I love this game. It's a great Euro game. A lot of great choices. It's a deck builder, but it's used tokens in a bag. So it's basically like a deck building game. It's kind of that you're basically getting more and more tokens. You're adding the bag. You draw a certain number out, and those are your tokens that you use to take actions. You use those tokens. You put them on your player board. Take various actions. Get more tokens. Do other things. Get buildings. All sorts of fun stuff. You're traveling around the map as well, picking up resources. There's events throughout the game that help or hinder you in doing your thing.
But are there boats?
I don't think there's boats. No boats. Oh, yes, there is. There's a navigator. There's boats. There's no theme here. She's looking for a thing.
I'm just messing with it. Because there's roads that you take. You can take by road or by water on some of the movement on the map. It's fun. You're going to show off the game.
Well, I was going to show off the little tokens. Little bags. A whole bag of little tokens. Oh, here they are. So there are different tokens.
Yeah, they're all
color
coded.
So there's all these. There's the blue ones, and there's red ones, and then there's gray ones, and white ones, and yellow ones, and you get the idea. All these tokens. And so yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not a true deck builder in the sense that you go through your entire bag and reset your bag. Basically, whatever you spend in that turn, you put in the bag and you're drawing back out. So you could be potentially drawing the same ones out, and that one token you need doesn't show up. But that's part of the game. If you want that token more often, put more of that token in your bag.
That's part of the tactic, all right.
So I love it. It's great. We enjoy the expansion quite a bit. It adds a little bit more to the game, more choices, more buildings, all that sort of stuff. It's a good one. If you like what I consider mid-weight Euros, but it's probably a mid to heavy Euro game.
Yes.
Orleans is really good. I highly encourage you to try it out. Drop 6 spaces, but same general area.
It is a great
Same
one.
general area.
Don't they call it bag building? Isn't that like a thing
Well,
now?
they call it bag building, but it's not true deck building because you don't
keep throwing them back in, right?
Like in, I'm not sure, was Altiplano on my list? I'm not sure if it was. Was it on my list?
We talked about it at one point, I know, but I don't remember if it was...
I don't know. I'm not going to look around for it. But Altiplano, you pull all your tokens out, and when you run out of tokens, you put them all back in, which is more like a deck builder, right? Because you spend all your tokens and shuffle your tokens back up. But with Orleans, let's say you have 10 in there, and you draw 5 out to use. I use those 5. Those 5 go back in. I draw 5 out of that 10 again. So potentially you could keep getting the same ones, or not necessarily get what you want. So it adds a little more strategy in the sense that if I really want like navigators, I better put 2 or 3 of those in there at least, so they come up more often. If I only put 1, then I may not see them for a couple of rounds, right?
Or you could send them to do good deeds.
And kill them off, call your deck, basically.
We always called that the euphemism for them going to die, but...
All right. Let's move on. My number 17. So in the way back time of 24 was Venus, which was my favorite Vital Lacerda game until now. Because my favorite Vital Lacerda game is...
Ooh.
On Mars!
Man, this game.
On Mars! Love On Mars.
So
this
good.
is amazing. I could probably just hit rewind and play my Vital Lacerda speech about he makes the most thematic heavy Euro games, in my opinion, there is. It's not. I don't even think that. For me, it's not even close. He makes better heavy Euro games. In terms of theme. You really feel what you're doing. This one's really cool. It's got a lot of things going on. It's like all his games, heavy, lots of rules to learn, lots of things to do. But once you learn, it's pretty easy. So this one's kind of interesting. It has a worker placement game, like a lot of his games, but it has 2 sides of the board. One is like in space, like up in the space station or whatever's floating around above Mars. The other one's down on the planet. So you have to choose where you are in a particular round. Am I up in space doing stuff, or I'm down on the planet doing stuff? If you're up in space, then you're doing stuff like getting materials, doing blueprints, preparing your stuff to take the supplies to send down to the planet, things like that. If you're on the other side of the board, then your bot's out building buildings, you're out exploring the planet, you're doing stuff like that. So it's kind of not only in the worker placement, you're narrowed in by other players doing things, but you're narrowed in which side of the board you're playing on a particular turn. So you have to kind of strategize, okay, what do I need to do this turn over here? Okay, do I want to do some more stuff here? Do I need to go to the land on the planet and start doing stuff there? So it's really cool in how that works. Very thematic. It's cool. The buildings are very interesting, how they interact with each other and how you need certain buildings. Then there's things that go on that you have to take care of on the planet. It is really cool. It's not cooperative, but you're kind of sharing space on the planet when you're building stuff around. So there's a little bit of that. Great game. Oh, love On Mars. So cool. So cool. I'm going to show off the stuff because...
You should, because the little pieces
This is
are
the
awesome.
Eagle Griffin game, and they may as well call this a deluxe version of the game because it sure does look like it when you start looking at the pieces.
Everything's like the heavy-duty cardboard stuff, too. Like, it's well made.
Player boards are...
the double layer.
Double layer, so you have where you put your stuff on here.
So nice.
So these are the player boards.
Oh, I forgot about the storage for this, too.
There's all the stuff.
Look at that. Nice lid.
All right.
That's red. I saw what you did there, Eagle Griffin.
All right, so then you got... the bits are just really cool. So hopefully I can show these off. Here's the rocket ship guy. I know it's kind of...
Yeah,
it's kind of a glare.
Yeah, a little bit. You can see him.
You have a little rover that you drive around the planet on to explore the planet.
Yeah, here's the rocket. You can kind of see.
Here's the little building pieces you're building out on the planet.
I love them. They're just little painted wood bits. They're just fun.
It's really, this game is
Little dudes.
It's an awesome
Little
production.
dudes.
It is off the charts production value.
Yeah.
I love the player board.
Oh, they're great.
Where you have you put all these little rockets and stuff. It'll be covered with all those wooden pieces because as you build them and put them out and use them, they come off the board and make your stuff more efficient and stuff like that. I like that. It's a really solid game. I'm itching to play this one again. I have had so much fun. I'm not putting this back correctly.
Well, you gotta put the lid on first.
Oh yeah. That might work. So if you like Vitola Lacerda and you haven't tried on Mars yet, you definitely should try it out. It is awesome. Super thematic. My favorite one. Because we like space games. We like space themed games. And he did an amazing job of how it works. Just so cool. So cool. This game is so awesome.
Really, really good.
How we doing?
Quite good.
You're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
You're pretty good at that. Mm-hmm. It's like magic.
Yep, it's magic, all right.
So that's my number 17. I didn't say it's new to the list because it's a brand new game. It came out first part of this year, I want to say, maybe? End of last year.
Recent, yeah.
It's since I made my list last, obviously, it's come out.
Oh, wait.
Well, I mean, I could have bought an older game that's new.
That's true, too.
Anyway. All right, so let's zoom in on Rebecca. She's about to be blown away by my number 16. This is my 7 last time. It dropped 9 spots from 7. And that is Star Trek Ascendancy!
Oh, well, okay, I'm not surprised by
Star
this.
Trek Ascendancy.
I'm not surprised by this.
Why?
It requires, to make this a good game, it's 3 players.
You have to play with 3 players.
Yeah. Like, oh, you have to? Is it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're punishing it because we haven't been able to play it. I totally get this.
Yeah, you'll say that. Wait till my next one. Anyway, Star Trek Ascendancy. So this is a Star Trek themed game. It's kind of let's say a macro. Is that the right word? A pulled back version of a Star Trek game. A lot of Star Trek games are very episodic, and you have the different characters.
Micro.
Yes, very episodic. You have different characters from the shows, and they're doing different things like that. This doesn't have this. There's no characters. There's none of that. Episode type stuff. This is just a big dudes on the map flying around conquering planets and attacking each other game.
But it's better than just dudes on a map. It's the little Federation ships and the little Klingon ships and everything, and they're duking it out.
All right, they're interesting looking dudes on a map, and it's very it's thematic in the sense that all the different races, the Federation, the Klingons, the Romulans, the Ferengi, the Cardassians, we haven't played with the Vulcans yet. They're down on there. The Andorians and Vulcans we haven't played with yet, or the Borg. But they're all very thematic in how they do it. Federation is all about going around and talking to people, being diplomatic, getting them to join the Federation, whereas the Klingons go around and crush people and conquer them. So it's very thematic. Everyone has their own little technology deck that they're going through to upgrade their ships. It's just, you upgrade your shields, you upgrade your weapons. It's all about fighting, though. It's all about going around and conquering things and fighting and killing people. But it's in the end, it's a race. You're trying to get a certain number of ascendancy points. First 1 to 3?
5.
5?
I thought it was 5.
I thought it was 5 culture to get an ascendancy. First 1 to 3? Or maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. It's a race to a certain amount of ascendancy points. You use culture points to buy ascendancy, and people get culture points in different ways. So Federation might get it for exploring and doing things like that. Klingons might get it from conquering people and taking things over. But you build planets, take over planets, you build nodes on those planets, get resources and research and technologies and all sorts of craziness off the planets. But it's just a big fighty game. I wouldn't call it a 4X because it's kind of 4X. There's a aspirations supply. I guess it is a 4X game. I'll call it a 4X game. But it doesn't have a lot of diplomacy and things like that in it. Not so much.
Well, it depends on the race you're playing.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, like, between the players. And
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's a great game. We got to show off the stuff because she likes the little ships.
Heck yeah.
Made little notes of rules that we forget. Made notes. So it's interesting the board when you start playing the game. When you start playing the game, all you do is have your little home planet. Like for example, Federation will just have Earth. You have your little, all you have is your little planet in front of you. You have your little resource nodes and things like that, and some ships, and that's it. And then you have to go explore and find everything. So you basically build these warp lanes.
They're all in there, yeah.
Giant warp lanes that connect to different planets. So you just start building out your map and connecting it. Pretty soon you have this giant grid of planets all over the place. It's really cool. There's a few little upgrades you can get. You can get specific dice. You can get better looking star bases and stuff like that. We have a little bit of that stuff, but not much.
I'm trying to hold it by the bottom so you can see it. There's a little Romulan bird of prey.
Little tiny.
He's
Tiny.
They're very tiny. They're all tiny, but they're adorable. Ridiculous.
I love this game. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting, and it's cool because you know how I said that you just put your one little planet in front of you. How far you put the different planets apart from each other is how quickly you're going to interact with each other, right? So if you want a lot of interaction, a lot of fighting, a tighter map, you're going to put the planets the planets a little closer together. If you want a bigger epic game where there's not a lot of interaction, you put them further away. But really, you should follow the rule book because, like the Klingons, they need fighting, so they got to get through people pretty quick. So,
yep.
But they can just beeline for somebody if they need to.
There's that too.
But it's cool. Let's see if the back shows that grid I'm talking about of planets you end up with. I think there's a good picture of it on the back, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So let me show you the back. So let's see how there's this. This is a 3-player game. Yeah. You have basically a triangle. Each person. It's funny. Each person starts in a corner, and you build out this grid of planets between each other, and you have a little bit of leeway on how you build that. It's kind of cool. So it's great. Upside down, but there's no up in space.
Good save.
All right, get this out of here. Star Trek Ascendancy. So that's my number 16. It dropped 9 places. It was 12 in 2017, 7 in 18, 7 in 19, and now back to 16 now. So this is the one that's going to get her because her excuse on why this dropped will not work for this one. So it dropped 5 places. It was my 10 last time, so it dropped out of the top 10. First time leaving the top 10 ever since in any of my lists since 2005.
Whoa.
2015.
Okay.
15 it was 5, 16 it was 8, 17 it was 8, 18 it was 5. 5, 8, 8, 5, and then it was 10 last year, and now it dropped to 15. That is Star Trek Fleet Captain.
What?
Star
happened?
Trek Fleet Captain.
How? You can just hide me now because. What dropped this? Why?
There's better games on my list.
No such thing. What the heck?
Star Trek Fleet Captains is where before it's always been until recently it's always been the same general area as Ascendancy because I like them for a different reason. This one is when I was talking about the other one wasn't episodic and didn't have characters. This one, on the other hand, is episodic and does have characters. So you have a fleet of starships or whatever, battle cruisers or whatever you have, and you go out and eventually you're going to crew those people. You're going to put various crew members on them to make them more efficient. It's got hero clicks. I'll show them in a minute. Have little hero click ships that keeps track of your damage and your powers and your shields and stuff. You're going out and exploring. You're doing science missions. You're attacking people. You're conquering areas. This one comes with a pre-set up map, but all the tiles are flipped over. And as you go out and explore, you're flipping over those tiles and encountering different situations. Things that you'll see in the episodes, right? So you'll see like the little ribbon that was in that one movie. You'll see the big planet destroyer thing.
You're talking about the Nexus?
Yeah, it's a ribbon thing. So you encounter those different situations. So when you explore a new tile, you have a certain random chance of having an encounter, and those encounters are directly things that happen in various episodes. You'll run into tribbles and all sorts of craziness.
It's wonderful. It's
really cool, and all the different races, like in Ascendancy, are thematic. They have different ways to play. Federation's more science and exploration. Klingons are more attacking and lesser on the science and exploration. You're basically a race to a certain number of victory points based on how big the map is. So however big you make your map decides how many victory points you need to win, and it's a race to get to that certain number of points. Whoever gets that number of points first wins. I think you do an equal number of turns, and whoever has the most at the end wins the game. And I have a cool painted set, courtesy of Paul, friend of the show, Paul. Maybe just friend Paul. He gave us his painted version. He said he hardly played it, so he wanted it to go to good use.
And these are gorgeous.
And they're
ridiculous.
See if I can. They are just amazing looking little miniatures.
Look like they walked off.
Like I said, they're hero clicks at the bottom. You have little clicky things that keeps track. So you take damage, your stats are going to go down, and as you repair, your stats go back up. And that's really, if you're a Star Trek, this is probably, in my opinion, probably in her opinion as well, the best Star Trek game there is. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun. I like seeing characters. It's slightly disjointed in its theme, but that doesn't bother me because you could have like Captain Picard with Spock and with, I don't know, 7 and 9. I don't know if she's in there or not. I don't think Voyager's in there. But you have a crew just that are different episodes, different time periods, different eras, which may weird some people out, but I think it's really cool that you can have all these different characters mishmashing, and it's fun to say, oh, look who's on my ship, these random people from the different shows. So it's really cool. Very quiet.
I can't believe it dropped out of the top 10.
It's gone. It's out of the top 10, baby.
This is such a good game. It's so much fun.
I love this game. It's a lot of fun. We tend to, it's cool. One thing I like about this game is when we throw down, it's like, hey, you want to do a long game or do you want to do a short game? And we can literally judge how long of a game is, like I said, by how big you do your map. You want an epic, you can literally have an epic game with a ginormous, massive map, and go to 50 points or some insanity. It takes like 4 days to play. Or you can do a short, tiny little map and get it done in an hour and a half.
Yep.
So,
pretty awesome.
Fun for the whole family.
Love.
Star Trek Fleet Captains.
Love.
So let's move on to another, well, not another.
It was like, how many Star Trek games do you have in this list?
A 4X game. I guess
Ooh,
it's kind of a similar feel to the last two.
Okay.
It's brand new to the list. Rockets up to 14 because I love this game because it has the same feel as a lot of 4X games. It plays faster. It has the thing that I love doing. I love the fact that you can upgrade different things. You upgrade your troops and different abilities and things. Okay. Love this game. That is Heroes of Land, Sea, and...
I should have known that you were gonna...
And air!
I should have known this was gonna rocket up there, yeah.
Love this game. It is so much fun. I love this game. Kind of got a generic fantasy theme, but you know what? I'm okay with generic fantasy themes. I love it. You're building... you start out, you're at a little capital city with a few dudes. You're producing more goods. You're going out exploring, conquering areas, taking over regions, getting resources. Reminds me a lot of a real-time simulation like StarCraft and things like that. Because you start out your little building, you start building little guys, and little guys go out exploring and taking over areas. You get more and more resources. You're upgrading your troops, upgrading your buildings, and pretty soon you're flying around on airships, conquering over all the other players. It's attacky. Land is scarce, and eventually you're gonna run into other people, and you're gonna be fighting over land. The losing combat isn't too horrible, but it hurts, or it's not worth having combat. But I love this game. It's got a nice progression. You can kind of design out how you want to do your character. Every race is very unique. They have a unique player board that had all their troops. You have all the same types of troops, but what your troops do is very different.
I love the little chariot thingies. Look at those.
It's got all these cardboard little towers and things you're building. But your little player board, you have the same types of troops down here at the bottom. They have different names, but they're basically similar, same stats and stuff. But when you upgrade them, they get superpowers as you go up, as you level up in the game. They get superpowers that are very different from everyone else. So, like, who are these? These are the elves?
Yes.
The elves?
They're the elves.
Yeah, so they're gonna have very elfy-looking powers. And if you're playing orcs, it's gonna be very different, right?
They're orky
powers. But yeah, it's really cool. It's a lot. It feels almost, it gives me a sense, like I said, of those video games, because you level up your capital building. As you level up your capital building, your troops get different new powers and new things to do. Makes them more powerful. You can choose which ones you want to make, which ones you want to produce. Lots of different ways to score points. Every little troop and upgrades and upgrading castles, all kinds of points. So it's Euro in the sense that at the end of the game, you're going to have a score. It's not like I'm going to conquer you and destroy you and I win the game. There's in-game triggers that trigger at the end of the game, and then you score victory points. Basically, you get points for, like I said, building buildings, taking over areas, controlling certain regions. Awesome. Fun. If you want a really interesting, kind of, in my opinion, different dudes on a map game, it has a 4X feel to it, but it's much more resource management and exploring and conquering areas and things like that than it is 4X games. It seems like it's more, well, I guess it is a 4X game. Maybe.
I like how you're arguing with yourself. It's like you have your own little debate about that.
I'm having my own little debate. But I like it. I love this game. Oh man, this is never going to go in. Oh, look at you. Genius. That's why I keep her around. Amazing. I love this game. It's really, 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 really fun. I'm glad that Gameland Games decided to make an epic game instead of a tiny epic game. And this is definitely an epic game. I love this game.
It's cool.
Love it. Love it. I haven't had a chance to even play with the new races because...
That's true. We had gotten it after the fact.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. And then, things happened. So that's my number 14, Noodle List. Brand spanking Noodle List.
Good pick. That's a fun one.
Heroes, Land, Sea, and Air.
I am looking forward to playing that.
All right, here's the one where her draw drops and hits the floor. It was my number 9 last time. Dropped 4 places, so it didn't drop very far.
Why is my jaw going to drop?
Because it is Vinnie Culture!
What is going on in the world?
It takes too long. Let me sum up. Vinnie Culture! So it was my number 9 last time. Here's the thing. She doesn't recall, but it was my 13 in 2018. So it's returned.
Yeah, I probably had a hissy fit then.
It returned to its previous position of 13 from 2 years ago.
This is nonsense and garbage. Is this just not heavy enough for you now, sir? Are you becoming a heavy snob? Is that what's going on here?
Couple things.
This is perfection. Why would you mess with perfection?
Couple things. 1, yes, it's not heavy enough. 2, we played this game a lot. And I don't. It's weird. It's in the same general vicinity as the other ones. It's going to stay up to the tippy top. I love this game. It's a great worker placement game. I'm just one of the people that like trying new things and exploring new areas. So for games lasting, like, how long does this game last?
Hour and a half.
60 minutes to 2 hours.
There you go.
60 plus minutes. We'll just call it that. This may be one of our most played 60 plus minute games.
Yeah. Probably.
Discounting legacy games, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
It's amazing. It's an awesome game. It's friggin' 13. That's pretty good. Not as good as 12 other games, but it's pretty good.
Wow.
I love this game. This is an amazing game. I'm talking smack, but it's awesome. I love this game. It may be my number. It plays spoilers. It plays really well at all player counts 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if we've ever played at 6. Have we played at 6? I think we played at 5, 4, 5. I don't know. But all the different player counts I've played at, it's played really well.
Yep.
It's a worker placement game. It constricts the board, so basically you have all the same spots, but you only one in a 2-player game, for example. Each spot only has one place per spot. If you get up to, I think, 3 players and 4 players, there's 2, and then 5 or 6 players, there's 3 spots for the same action. So you're fighting for that action. But you have a grande worker that can go anywhere you want, even the places that other people have gone. So that kind of covers that part of it. You can build stuff on your player board that lets you have spots that you can go there, so those can't be blocked by other players. But you're making wine. Boring.
Oh my gosh. It is not a boring game.
Yeah, I love this game.
It's number 13.
I like picking on her because it's one of her favorite all-time favorite games.
It was my number 1 game.
It was my number 1 game in 2015. Time goes by. Memories fade.
Wow. Yeah, you're getting senile is what you said. This game should be number 1, but he forgot about it.
I love Vinnie Culture. If you like worker placement games and you have not played Vinnie Culture, you have to play this game. It is amazing. Yes. Don't let the theme slow you down. It slowed us down for a while. We're like, oh, wine making? But it's awesome. I love this game.
are you looking at in this
I
one?
just want to. I always love showing off the box because this is Vinnie Culture and Tuscany.
Oh, yeah.
The full blown Vinnie Culture and the full blown Tuscany, not the essential editions, the full editions. And the box is like
flush with the
It
top.
is completely
Chock full
of stuff.
Yeah.
It is completely full of stuff.
See all the options and modular things.
And it's got the cool little
Look, wine.
bit. Anyway, I love this game. It's so much fun.
Simple.
I'm making fun. I'm joking, but it's one of my. Is it my favorite worker placement game? It is indeed not my favorite worker placement game. It's one of my favorite worker placement.
My heart.
You'll live.
So cruel.
Love me some Vinnie Culture,
But
especially
only
with
somewhat.
Tuscany. Formaggio. All right. Let's move on to my number 12. This is my number 11 last time. I only dropped one spot. Holding strong. It's my favorite party game. It's my favorite social deduction game. It is my favorite large player count game. It is my favorite
Better be what I think it is.
Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
This game is amazing.
This is just an amazing game.
I love this game.
Anytime I end up with six or more players, this game's gonna get played. It's just gonna get played. Love this game. It's so much fun. So it is a social deduction game, but it's one of the ones that she likes, especially. It's one of the ones where you don't have to be, people aren't in your face constantly asking you questions and beating you over the head. And
I mean, they could, I suppose, but you don't have to deal with it.
But it's basically a game of Clue in a way. So basically, someone's going to be the murderer, and that murderer has a selection of every player has a selection of murder weapons and clues left at the scene in front of them. The murderer secretly is going to pick one of each, and it's the goal of the other players, most of the other players, the good guys, to deduce what the two items are, and obviously who the murderer is. And they're given clues, kind of not secretly, but silently, from a forensic scientist. He's putting clues on a board, and basically they're kind of obscure clues, but the forensic scientist kind of lead them to the right items, and promotes all this discussion of, if the person was strangled, okay, what are the murder weapons can be possibly strangle a person, or maybe it's a clue that it was in the bathroom. So what items are it could be in the bathroom, and you're basically through these clues, you're narrowing it down to a select group of items, and the murderer's kind of lead you away, and he has an accomplice that's helping him that's also kind of leading you away from him. It's a really amazing game. It's a lot of fun, a lot of interaction. It's a game that a lot of social deduction games, the first round, you're kind of just staring at each other going, you have no information. You're like, I heard someone's leg move. I think it could be them.
No, it's not.
This person is blushing a little bit. It could be them. But this game, you have information like right off. As soon as the game starts, people are involved. People are discussing. People are interacting with each other.
It's great.
Love this game. It is a solid game. It's going to be up here around the top 10 area. Probably, who knows, until they invent something better than this.
It's going to be tough to do that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, like I said at first, a lot of social deduction games, if you're the traitor or the bad guy, and you're new, you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? You're just completely, because people are questioning you. You're under the spotlight is on you, and a lot of people don't like that. But this game, you just secretly pick the two little items, and then you can talk or not talk or interact or do whatever you want. And people are talking about what's going on, but they're not in your face, because it's not like you have information. You're hiding something that they can question you and figure out, right? Yeah. I guess they could say, hey, I think it's this, and they can see how you react to that. But it's not like in, let's say, Spyfall, where someone's directly asking you a question and seeing how you're going to react. This one, you can be as interactive, or you can, even people that are kind of reserved could still play this game, potentially. So, love it. This one, almost every convention we go to, it gets pulled out and played, and people just wander up, jump in, and jump out. They play a game. It plays pretty quick. 15 to 30 minutes. It's probably more like 15. Well, it depends on how much your people talk. The more rambunctious and interactive people are, the game's going to go a little bit longer, but that's a good thing,
Unless
right?
they figure it out right away.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Love this game. We have a bazillion
dynamic.
cards. We have the expansion. We have tons of promos. Just
There's
piles
so
and
many cards
piles
for
and
this.
piles of cards.
Yeah. You can play it for quite a while without having a repeat card, and I'm saying that because I've tried.
Yeah, you probably played this game 50 times, huh?
Closer to 65.
65.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. And what's really nice about this game is it's so fast that if you play once and then someone else, invariably someone's like, oh, I want to be the forensic guy. I want to give the clues. And then
love that.
You just rack it up, put out new cards, and boom, you're ready to go again and play it again. And that person can try it out. And many times it goes around, everyone gets a shot at being the guy. And you can play 5-6 games in a couple hours. So really cool, really fun. Like I said, favorite party game, favorite social deduction game, favorite big player game. There you go. I don't know what more to say.
It's a cool game.
Plays how many players? 12?
I think with the expansion... No, it's 14.
14?
With the expansion.
Yeah,
I think the original game is 12. But it works really well. It's another one of those more the merrier kind of games. Absolutely. It does play well.
So if you were paying attention, way back time, I said there was one gainer. Haven't mentioned the gainer yet.
Nope.
So it has to be my number 11.
Yeah.
So this game, it's interesting because when we first played it, it got ranked kind of low for whatever reason. It was at 53 in 2018. Then we played it several more times after that. It rocketed up to 17, and now it's all the way up to 11.
Wow!
Because the last time we played it with everything, which is what we've been doing this last year. Anytime we play a game, we throw everything in.
Yep, and try it.
And we loved everything. We played, it covered half the table, and we have a ginormous table. Everything. It was crazy, and I loved it. There was hooligans busting into our park, stealing our stuff, not paying, dodging the dinosaurs. Oh my gosh, Dinosaur Island.
This game is
Dinosaur, and
it's
Jurassic
totally
Park.
liquid. Totally liquid. Yeah. So, oh man,
This game is
Jurassic Park.
This game
right
is
here.
so good. Every time we play it, we have a blast. It's our kind of game in the terms of the way it's, you're drafting dice and you're building out your park and you're getting dinosaurs, you're getting DNA and building little dinosaurs and doing security and all this other stuff. But it's just so fun when you just draw out the bag and hooligans show up and your dinosaur goes wild and starts eating people. It is sometimes they just have to eat people.
That last game we had too, you were just like security, schmecurity.
I had the big giant. The expansion had the Mega Rex. And he was just, and
it broke out.
It was my part was so exciting. I just let people die because the excitement level was through the roof, man. There's people dying left and right,
and they still kept coming. So
they were waiting in line outside to die.
A little worried about his business ethics after that one, but no.
Oh man, I love this game so much.
Good. It was a lot of fun.
And see how we're laughing and joking? That's exactly when we're
Just
playing.
about
We're
it.
doing the same. We're laughing and joking about it because it's so much
I'm
fun.
gonna show off some of the pieces.
Yeah, I want to show off my Mega Rex.
Look at that bad boy. He's
Mega
huge.
Rex.
Because I think you have some of the regular size pieces in there too, right? So
No,
you
they're
can see...
little goats.
Oh, the goats are in
These
there.
regular pieces are here.
But yeah, as you can see, they're significantly smaller than the Mega Rex
The
too.
Mega Rex.
It's a bit ridiculous. It's wonderful.
So yeah, I got all the different modules, basically expansions modulars. So you can pick and choose what you want to put
So much
in the
fun.
game.
What else in here? More dinosaurs! Yeah.
And they've got big giant clunky DNA dice that are really cool.
Oh yeah, and you got the cool the coins.
Yeah, I upgraded the metal
And
coins.
the cheesiest, best thing about it
The first
is
player
the first
marker?
player marker.
It's a fast pass
It's
wristband.
a fast pass. One of those snap bracelets that cracks me up.
I just
Whoever
love this
designed
game. This
this-
game is so much fun. I mean,
Genius.
they made a
Who
heavy
is
Euro
this?
game that is fun and exciting.
Gilmore and Lewis. Geniuses.
Yeah, I love this game. It's so much fun. There's a lot of dinosaur games out there. I stopped with this one because we're done. This is just awesome.
Yeah.
It's a really cool game. You think? I mean, it's interesting because you would think this is probably, I would consider this a mid to heavy Euro game. A lot of those games, you just kind of head down. You're building your little buildings and you're pushing some cubes and doing your own thing, which is fine. This one is like heads up, laughing and joking, and what are you doing? Security, I can't get enough security.
I think the dinosaurs always individually walk onto the board, and they usually make noises.
and you're pulling your
hooligans.
visitors out of the bag, and you get a hooligan. Everyone laughs because they don't pay. They sneak in. They're first
They
in
actually
line.
call
They're
them
first in
hooligans.
line. They don't pay, and they don't get killed by dinosaurs.
Because there's hooligans. They know how to jump fences, so they like escape from the dinosaurs.
This game, it's
Oh,
just so much fun.
it's amazing.
I love this game.
Well, like the goats. That's another thing too. Some of the little gimmicky things, like they have these goats to entice.
Yeah, it's one of the
Your-
modules you can do.
It's
basically
wonderful. Genius ideas.
Yeah, basically, if your security's too high, if your danger level's too high and you can't get enough security, you can just feed them goats. You throw goats at the dinosaur and they eat the goats instead of the
That
people.
keeps them busy.
It's funny.
Oh,
This game,
woo!
this game is too cool.
Well, and with the Totally Liquid expansion too, I don't think we talked about it too much,
Sea
but they also have the
monsters.
sea monsters.
Yeah, sea dinosaurs,
So you can do, oh man,
sharks and sea creatures.
Mosasaurus, all those really cool. Oh, plesiosaurs. Oh.
This game is so good. I love this game.
Well, and I like the fact that there's several different types of meeple. So
Yeah.
it's not just a representative dinosaur meeple. No, there's 6, 8 different kinds of dinosaur meeple in there. And the same thing with the oceanic ones as well. There's several different meeples for it. It's beautiful.
And I think they just had a Kickstarter for the Dinosaur World and Roaring Right. Anyway, they also believe they released Dinosaur Island again reprint with slightly upgraded bits. So
oh man,
it's back in print with
worth
even better
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that's my number 11. It was 17 last time. It keeps going up. May have hit the ceiling on where it's going to go up, but who knows? Maybe not. All right, that's it. We're done. That's it. Top 100 is over.
I was gonna say 10.
Oh,
remain.
wait!
Dun dun dun.
We still have the live top 10 to do. Let's preview it. Let's do a preview. This is crazy. My top 10 is crazy. 5 games went down, which is not unusual.
No.
2 stayed in the same spot,
That's crazy.
which is not necessarily unusual. 3 new games in my top 10.
Are you cool to the newing it?
What? 3 new games.
That's crazy.
30% of my top 10 is new. 7% of the same. They were all in my top 10 before. But what can you do?
Interesting.
I'm excited.
Question is
3 new
this
games.
number one a new one?
And we'll have to find out next time.